Good morning, good morning, good morning. You already know what time it is. This is your boy, the historian Ryan Walker, one part of the Birdcage, the magnificent Birdcage family. You already know how we get down. You either get right or you get left. But before we go ahead and get right or get left today, go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe button for us. We got a little something we're going to try today. This is called the PreGame Meal, new show that we're going to try to get started this season or whatnot before. Birdcage. I'm back. I'm back. Had a little snafu right there. But again, this is a little something that we're trying out today. This is called the pregame meal, brought to you by the Birdcage LLC. So we're out here today just thinking about what's getting ready to happen in about an hour. I know it's a little early for you, but get your asses up. We here today, baby. It's game day. It's an hour before we get started today. So we're in the building today. So a little something. I just want to talk a little bit about what to expect today with the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons today. It's pretty much going to be a vanilla game, as you know. It's going to be smash mouth. It's a lot of things that's happening with this organization that we talk about the changes. You're not going to see Matthew Judon today or Justin Simmons in the fold today because they literally are just getting off of the U-Haul trucks and getting that stuff to the A at this point. So they'll probably be on the sidelines, but you're not going to see them play today. Michael Penix Jr., let's talk about it. I think Penix is going to be I think he's going to be tested today with a little bit better of a defense with Baltimore because even the depth that's there with Baltimore, they definitely keep the deck stacked with their defenses. You're not going to see many starters today, but I think Penix is going to have another good day today. When you talk about being able to just put the ball in tight windows, and he did it in such a way where all you can do is just sit back and say, wow, this kid is for real. And you look at how he can move an offense. There's a few things that he's going to have to work on, and that's going to come with time. We definitely have a situation where we got a guy that is one of the best in the game at this point. And when you look at it, all you can do is just say, well, damn, what else is this kid going to do? What else can we expect from him? And there are so many things that are going on right now with the Falcons where we actually have to just sit back and just laugh and say, man, this is actually going to be on point. So all I can do at this point is really just sit back and just say, well, I think defensively we're going to be stingy. Outside of the defense being stingy, I really feel as if we're going to have a situation to where we really are going to be set for the future. The depth is there. And outside of the depth being there, you have to equate for so many different things. The play calling is going to be there. Zach Robinson and so many other guys are going to be making calls, gaining trust at this point with this team. I honestly believe that there's so many things that you can see that are going to go right for this team, but it's going to take time. You've got to build it, and not just build it. You have to understand that trust takes time. It's just like a relationship, as I spoke on in the Birdcage. Kirk Cousins is not playing yet, but when he gets his opportunity to play, there's going to be so many things that's going to open up with this offense because it's not like it's a first-year quarterback coming with this offense. I feel as if Zach Robinson is going to be able to trust Kirk and open the playbook a little bit more because Kirk understands it and knows it from the ground up. Looking at the offense, we're going to be able to run on anybody, even with our backups. Carlos Washington, I expect a lot more out of him today. I think Carlos is actually going to be very, very good. We just really have to look at it from a standpoint of is it going to be productive? And not just productive. You have to look at it from a standpoint of can he, what's going on, Thomas? Can he literally crack this roster and give us a little bit of depth that we need? So at this point, all we can do is just say, well, this young man's been in this system for a while. It's a new offense. He has a chance to become the third string running back. If he can't beat out the rookie from Alabama, he's going to be a practice squad guy. But at the end of the day, I still think this kid can go. I'm having a little bit of issues with the camera. That's why you keep seeing me go on and off. Just a little something I'm testing today. But I believe that the Falcons are in a position and in a predicament to where we can actually make some things shake. The organization is going into a whole new, having a whole new identity makeover. When you talk about the identity makeover with the Falcons right now, strong defense, strong offensive line play, solid quarterback play, and pretty much going from, I'll take that back. Let me belay my last, as we used to say in the military, belay my last. Let me go ahead and correct my mistake. We don't have just solid quarterback play. We're actually looking for elite quarterback play. That's what this front office is going for. So at this point, all I can do is just sit back and just laugh. Just laugh. Because for the longest, we've been crying. We have been crying for a lot of help right now. So all you can do at this point is just sit back, relax, and just let Terry do his thing. Terry, Raheem Morris, this offense, this defense, just do their thing. Normally, we're always talking about the game plans, but today I'm just coming from a fan perspective. I got to come from a fan perspective today. I expect this offense to be able to at least put up 21 points today. 21 points. That's what I have for this offense. Defensively, I see so many things that's going to happen. I see it. We're going to really be a top 10 defense this year. And I think we're going to probably have a top 5 pass rush. This is the fan side of me coming out. I'm not speaking on the historian. This is Ryan Walker talking right now. And I feel like when you talk about the way that everything is going, all you can do is just laugh. Because we've been blessed so far to have a solid offseason, but the only thing that sucks right now is we've had injuries to catch us. Injuries have been a big problem for the Falcons the past couple of years. You look at the depth that we've had, you look at everything that has hurt us, it's been injuries. And at this point, all you can do is really just sit back and cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross your eyes. If you can cross your nose, try to cross it, but I don't think that's going to work. But you got to pray and hope that these guys come out of this preseason and the offseason right now, technically, and coming into the season fully healthy. The Falcons really are in a position to where how can I put it? We're in a position to where we can change a lot of things right now. We can change a lot of things. And the first thing we're going to have to do as fans, and I'm speaking on this from our standpoint, we're going to have to make the effort of putting positive energy out. We're going to have to just really sit back and just think about this. Now, everybody talked about John Paddock actually being cut. He's on the practice squad. He's still on the team. He's just on the practice squad. He's just not on the active roster. But that is a guy that I feel as if can replace Taylor Heineke. He's going to get his opportunity to play today. I think that now that Rook is gone, this is who you're going to have to roll with. You've got to make this stuff happen. Now, again, as I said before, I was having some issues with my camera, so now y'all can see my face. It's early in the morning or whatnot. I might not be the best thing smoking right now, but hey, I'm just here. But all I can say is at this point, I'm not willing to cut Heineke. I'm willing to trade him because it's a lot of teams that need a backup right now. I would rather trade him for a pick, get something for him. At this point, the best thing that we can do is put him in a situation to where he can be somebody else's problem. Maybe somebody else can get out of him what he gave in Washington. But for us, we're just going to pretty much put ourselves in a place to where we really can, how can I put it? We really can get a pick for him because we're going to lose out on the 5th round draft pick next year. And normally the Falcons hit their sweet spot within the 3rd rounds on down. I'm willing to get a 5th round, 6th round, or even a 7th round pick for him because there's still a lot of diamonds that are out there in the lower rounds. And the Falcons have a great way to discover guys that are literally at the bottom of the barrel that no one talks about. And for some reason, we find those guys and we turn them into polished diamonds. We've had a history of that. So at this point, I'm willing to trade Taylor Heineke. I'm not cutting him because I don't want to take a cap hit. I would rather just go ahead, get a lower round draft pick, let my scouting department get better players that might come at pennies off the dollar. That's what I'm looking at. But for right now, I got to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. I'm going to go ahead and drop this link for the party that we're having September the 29th. So y'all stay tuned.
What the hell going on here?
What's going on here is pretty much the Saints versus the Falcons September the 29th at Dave & Buster's. We call this the hunting grounds. So all the fans of the Birdcage and the Falcons are welcome to come. We definitely would love to have you there. Also, we have a live show that will be taking place after the game. We're going to be giving out prizes for raffle tickets. So when you purchase your ticket, you're automatically in. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres, a cash bar there as well. So if you're not interested in the cash bar or the hors d'oeuvres, go ahead and get that food from the waiters and waitresses. So you can contact us at 404-585-1445 or the Birdcage LLC at gmail.com. You either get right or you get left. Ghost. Birdcage. As I said, I'm back. I'm having a little bit of issues with my camera this morning, so I got to go ahead and have the Birdcage moniker up. So at this point, like I said, this is what we call the pregame meal, you know. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna be on here for that long, just on here just to give you a little emphasis, a little something I'm trying today. You know, I'm gonna have the halftime analysis as well today. So we definitely have, again, some different things right now. So just a little something I'm gonna put out here for you guys. Daniel Flick has an article right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out here for you guys. It's on Twitter, and I have no problem with putting that out there for you guys. So he's pretty much talking about a little bit about Michael Penix Jr. And I think this is actually something that you guys might be a little interested in today. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this up, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it real quick. And then I'm gonna let, if you want to come in today, you can. In this portion, honestly, normally I have the camera rule. Right now, since I'm having problems with it, I'm not gonna put you guys under that approach, so you guys can come in and chop it up with me for a little bit. Daniel Flick says Michael Penix Jr. takes his development day by day right now, but sometimes the Falcons have to take a step back and view it from a broader perspective. That was what Raheem Morris pretty much talked about. He said his development is coming along great. However, how long do you put him into a situation to where you're going to hold him back? Right now, we already know that we already know, as we would say. I'm sitting here playing around with my Twitter this morning, so y'all got to forgive me. But you already know that Penix is going to be the future. We already know this. We already see this. We already know what's going on. Penix is going to be the future of this team. And at this point, all you can do really at this point is just wait. We're playing a waiting game. We must see what Kirk Cousins is going to bring to the table. Again, there's so many things that we can do as an organization, not only as just sitting back spending money. It's a lot of, like, I would say it was a Water Boys interview that came on this week, a couple of weeks ago, talking to Brian McFadden, former Florida State and Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback, and he spoke about it. He spoke about energy. Falcon fans, we have to have a positive energy because you speak stuff into existence. I get it. You know, when you talk about the old school Falcons and everything, I understand. It sucks to think about. But you have to look at it from a standpoint of, okay, when are we going to have a little bit of positivity at this point? And with the positivity that you have, when are we going to speak things into existence? Because at this point, the Falcons need all the help they can get. We already have a general manager that's here that's really trying to get things squared away with us. Um, it's different. It's a very different vibe. You look at Raheem Morris, you look at so many of these other individuals who are really putting some things out here to where they're trying to change the culture. Now, I just added the StreamYard link for you guys if y'all want to come in on YouTube, I'm going to put it on Facebook for those that want to come in. But it's just one of those things, man, where you just sit back and you look like the change of culture is here. The question is, when are you going to adapt to it? And when are we going to put ourselves in a position to really do some things? Because again, we can't just come out here negative as hell, period. We cannot come back here negative as hell. We have to be in a situation where we speak this positivity into these boys. And a lot of guys at this point, and a lot of guys at this point, all you can do is just say, "What's going on, Larry? I see my guy." Y'all check out the Dixon Way. He's going to be commentating the game today. He has some of the best commentary out here. The link is in the description. Y'all know how he gets down. You know, that's my guy. He covers the Braves, the Falcons, the Hawks, and even his wife's lousy, stinking Gators. Yeah, I said it. So again, all we can do is really just get situated. No, Larry, I know you getting ready for the game. I'm putting your promotion out there. I'm gonna be listening to you today, opposed to listening to this garbage commentary out here. We got to support each other, man. Each one teach one, my brother. So, again, I predict that the Falcons are going to have a win today. I don't know about how much, but I think we're going to take a win. I know it's going to be a hard fought game because Baltimore, no matter what string you're talking, first string, second string, third string, they're a very hard nosed team, period. Very hard nosed, very tough. And with Baltimore being in that situation, all you can do is just sit back and just kind of chuckle and just say, well, this is what it is at this point. But I see a lot of positive coming out of this today. I think Penix is going to probably have over 200 yards passing today. Outside of the 200 yards that he's going to be passing for today, I really believe that we're going to actually get to see this run game take shape. The running game is going to take shape, and I really feel like we're going to be in a spot to where we see a lot of young guys. I want to see a lot of Casey Washington today. I think Casey Washington is due for a breakout. When you look at what he can bring to the table, Casey is one of those guys that can strike fear into you, whether it's on special teams making a play or whether it's really even if it's just him coming in as a receiver. He's a football player, not just a wide receiver. And the guy that I look forward to today also in the wide receiver room is Odu-Hilaire. Odu-Hilaire is one of the guys that I picked. I've been following this kid since he was at Alabama A&M, and he's one of the guys that I feel like is going to really have a chance to make the team now that the injuries are here. And you look at what he's brought to the table, and I say, wow. You know, he leaves Alabama A&M, goes to Bowling Green, and he comes to Atlanta. He has his shining moment last week where he catches a pass and sets us up to win the ball game at the end of the game. Rourke threw a bad pass in the back of that end zone, and it just hurt. It hurt us. It hurt the chemistry. It hurt the momentum of that game. And again, he's a guy that I feel like if he gets an opportunity, he's going to be one that's going to take over. We already know about the usual suspects, Drake, Pitts, Bijan, Tyler Algier, the forgotten man. We know about those people. We got to start looking at the guys that are in the depth. I'm going to give you a guy, and I'm going to switch to the other side of the ball defensively. Kevin King takes 2 years off, comes back, has a phenomenal first game back, and is trying to get back. What's going on, Johnson? I don't think that the starters are playing today. They might have a few that step in, but we know that the backups are going to play. I believe that you might see a series or two out of the starters, maybe, but it depends. I wouldn't chance it at this point. Now, maybe the third game right now, I would say you would love to see the starters at least for at least 2 to 3 series in that first game, and then you let the backups just go ahead and play. But eventually, we're gonna have to get those starters in there and get them some playing time because it's nothing like live fire. You got to get used to being back on the field today. So we might see a starter today, maybe, maybe not. Depends on how Coach Morris calls it. But at this point, it's more so about just getting guys within rhythm and figuring out who's going to be your depth pieces because the first game, we knew it was going to be sloppy on both sides. But today, I think it should be a little bit more crisp. I think it should be a little bit more effective and proficient when it comes to the offenses coming around. Um, Honestly, I want to see the defense on this side. I don't know if they're going to start Richie Grant now because we have Justin Simmons. Like I said, that's still up in the air. We know Simmons is not going to play. We know Matthew Judon is not going to be playing today either. So again, at this point, they're going to go with the experience, but I would like to see Richie Grant get some snaps today because I know I've been hard on him and been wanting him to be traded. We've got to get him some snaps today, and we've got to get him some live action because he's going to get playing time. He's going to get playing time, and he's a guy that needs all the reps he can get at this point. Mike Hughes needs to get his reps. They were saying that he's had a phenomenal offseason, and I'd love to see a little bit more D. Alford today in the secondary. We have a lot of pieces that are going to be fundamentally sound and they're going to be rotational pieces, but these guys need to get their reps in at this point. I believe that the secondary is going to be the strength of this defense while these young guys that we've drafted are getting acclimated with these older gentlemen who were out, such as Grady, Onyemata, you got Taquan Graham. You have these guys coming back. I want to see a little bit of Zion Logue today, the seventh round pick that we took out of University of Georgia. He was definitely a run stopper at Georgia, and he was able to do so many things at Georgia as a plug and play guy. I think he's going to learn from Eddie Goldman, Grady Jarrett, and all these guys and possibly help him to be a future rotational piece for this team. Because, look, everybody's not going to be a star. You have to have great rotational pieces and great spot players because you never know what's going to happen. The injury bug started to hit us last year in the defensive line, and unfortunately, we were still ranked 22nd with stopping the run last year, but it did not stop us from having a top 10 defense and the number one red zone defense throughout the year. So we still have a lot of things that we need to fine tune, work, and just see how this defense is going to work because this is a whole brand new defense. When you look at what Jerry Gray is doing at this point, you look at what Jimmy Lake is doing and what Raheem Morris is trying to bring in here, you see so many different looks and you see so many different things that they're bringing to the table. And I honestly believe that it's going to be very exotic when you look at the defense coming with blitzes. I believe we're going to probably end up blitzing a little bit more than we did last year. And we actually had a pass rush last year, even though it wasn't the best. We were still able to create pressure and create turnovers and still give our offense a chance to win ball games. I believe that that's going to happen for us today. We're going to have chances to win the ball game. We're going to have chances to do a lot of things. So we've got to just trust the process at this point. And the process right now is really just trusting that the veteran leadership that we have on this team, the over 20 years of experience that we have on this defensive side of the ball. And don't forget, Steve Wilkes has been hanging around. He hung around for 2 days, but he doesn't have a job, but he's still hanging around the facility. He's still around the team. So again, don't be surprised if Steve Wilkes possibly gets a job with us somewhere as an analyst or even possibly a special advisor at one point. But he's been around the team. And I think that recommends in itself when you look at wisdom. One thing I can say that Raheem Morris is doing now that I can respect, and many people don't see it, and I'm just speaking from a fan perspective. I don't have any notes in front of me. I'm not speaking on games. I'm just speaking on the team in general. And I really don't do this too often. This is my first time really ever just elaborating on what I think as a fan of the team. So hopefully you guys don't take this as a bad thing. Hopefully you guys actually see that, yeah, I talk about the team. I try to be professional. I like to clown on the show sometimes, but as a fan, being a fan since 1991, I've seen this team go through ups and downs. And there have been some fans that are 20, 30 plus years before me, my senior, who've seen much more and dealt with much more pain with this team. This is the first time I can say as a fan, I have the utmost confidence in this new regime that they're going to bring us championship. I don't say that too often, but they're going to bring us championship. I see this. The attitude is different. We lost the game last week, but that body language, these guys were still competing all the way to the end. You didn't see that with Arthur Smith. Guys quit on Arthur Smith. And at this point, what we can do is really trust the process at this point. We have a lot that is going to happen. We have a lot that's going to go on, but I believe that this is going to be one of the best years that we have in Falcons football coming in off of a new head coach. It's just very we're very optimistic. We have our fans who are still bitching and moaning about Dallas Turner not being drafted and not going in the direction they wanted to go. But here's the thing. We took a quarterback that we needed for the future because Kirk is only a loner. You know, I get everybody wants to pass rush. Oh, we could have had Dallas Turner. But here's the thing. You get Dallas Turner, you don't have Judon here because Trice doesn't get hurt. So everything happens for a reason. And you know, it ain't Sunday, but I'll go ahead and say this. God don't make no mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. You don't think that Raheem Morris wasn't brought here for a reason? You don't think that Arthur Blank has told Rich McKay to step back for a reason? You don't think that we have Terry Fontenot making the type of moves and he's not handcuffed now and he's exploring different ideas and bringing an aggressive mindset to this front office? That's not by design. That's God's plan. We got people that actually understand football and actually know football that are finally in this front office. The only thing that I'd like to see a little bit better is this scouting department. I think they've done well so far to be able to find some diamonds, but I think we could do a little bit better and find more diamonds to bring to this team and help us get a championship and take pretty much the stench of losing off this organization. We've had some of the most loyal fans in this fan base that I've known. I can't speak for everybody because there's a lot of fickle fans in this fan base too. But I can speak on the loyal fans who we ride with this team, good, bad, or ugly. We don't just ride when they're winning and when new ideas happen. You know, we've gone through the ups and downs. Everybody talks about 28-3, but I still say 1998 hurt worse than 28-3 if you ask me. You know, we were like a team of destiny that year, and that was the best record that we had in the franchise history. 2016, we should have just won that one flat out. But just getting there in 1998 was not just an accomplishment. It was something that it wasn't supposed to happen. So when you talk about a team of destiny, they truly were a team of destiny because no one gave them an opportunity to even have a shot to even win. But let's be real. When Terrence Mathis came in here and he talked about changing the plan, it was just different. It was different. What's going on? Long time no see. Right, T Pam?
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi, Brian.
What's going on? Welcome
Just excited about the season in general.
welcome to the pregame meal. Only reason I got my camera off is because my camera's acting up right now. I'm gonna try to get that fixed before the halftime show. But what's going on, Auntie? What you got?
Pretty much just excited. That's all. And I appreciate you coming on. And you're right about fan base need to be very positive about this team. because this, I think Coach Raheem is and Terry are doing a lot to try to make us a winner, at least get us into a playoff where we can compete for, the chance to go to the Super Bowl. You know.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely with you on that because I feel like it's so many things that's going on that's just a little bit different. Man, everybody popping in now right before the game start. What's going on, Nando?
Hey, 12-5, that Super Bowl, what I was talking about before the injuries, before the acquisitions. So they just mustard on my hot dog.
Man,
Woo! In my Ric
Yeah.
Flair voice, baby.
I'm good with you having the Ric Flair voice this morning, man. Like this is look. See, I did a little something smooth because I call this the pregame meal. You know what I'm saying? I normally don't even get on before games, but I said, I might try to start doing a little something like this, man.
Yeah, you were cooking, man, when you brought in the Lord about this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunate things happen, but it's a part of the game, part of life, so hey, it is what it is. We been on the other side of the salt bottom. So why can't we be on the other side, on the good side? So we on the good side this time. Got blessed with a 4-time Pro Bowler and a 2-time Pro Bowler. Good God Almighty.
Man, all I can tell you is it's just one of these things, like I tell people all up front. We have good fans in this fan base, but then we got people that aren't loyal. They only come around when the Falcons start winning and it's convenient. And my thing is, I'm all about logo business, as we always say.
Yo, I was just going to say, Mr. Marcus Washington, it's in the building.
Yes, sir. and here's the funny part. I haven't seen Marcus in a while, man. One day he'll come on for me. But as I said before, man, it's killing me. That's all I can say. It's just I'm ready for the regular season to start. I'm kind of tired of the preseason already. I get we got to go through the process of filtering players at this point, but I really feel like we have a lot of good things going on with this team, off the field. You feel the vibe, you feel the energy, and it's a hell of a lot different than what it's been.
Right.
How do y'all feel? I'm gonna ask you this question because I'm gonna try to step out and step right back in and bring my camera up because I got to try to come back up because I want to see y'all faces. But how do you guys feel about the direction that this defense is going? Because everybody want to talk about the offense, and I get it. Offense is exciting; it puts up points. But I want to talk about this defense. I'm gonna step out real quick and pop back in, and I want to hear what you guys got to say. So I'm gonna let Auntie Pam start cooking, and I'm coming right back in.
Right. Yeah, I want to say go, Auntie.
Okay. I think they have done a whole lot to improve this defense. At the beginning of, I guess, the draft pit, a lot of people went at Coach Ream now for not picking a defense back. But you got to realize we had players on the team that could help our defense. In reality, is the reason why he didn't pick no corners or the back end and all that. But he felt that we needed to get some big mans up front to kind of stop the run stop and all that. So I understood the logic of him picking the quarterback because we needed a quarterback for the future. So when after I heard all the explanation of what he had to say about Michael Penix and all the picks, I was right on board with what he was doing. So that's all I had to say.
No, I mean, you said a mouthful right there. Everybody is not, but like we said, everybody's not really in a spot where they're being realistic about a lot of things right now. So this was definitely, I agree with you on that. And, we've been complaining about the defensive line for the longest, getting pushed around. We've been getting put. Let's keep it a book. Even the year that we had our Super Bowl team in 2016, we got pushed around a little bit too much on that defensive line because Grady had a good game that night, but we were ranked 28th with our defense. We at the end of that season we finished 24th. Period. So everybody's like, "Oh, well, Trufant didn't play in that game," and I said, "Trufant's ass shouldn't have been playing anyway." I said this here. if Collins wouldn't have tested positive for
Right.
those PEDs,
Yeah.
I watched Collins when he was at LSU. Collins was a stud. A lot of people want to sit there and say, "Oh, he wasn't." I said, "No.
He was.
I said he gets if he doesn't fail on those PEDs, that's your franchise corner right there. A lot of people don't want to believe that, but Collins was that type of guy. He had that dog in it. Watched him even though I'm a dog fan, got to watch him at LSU, and he was a monster. He shut down some of those good receivers that you saw in the NFL at that time. You know, the other guy that was his teammate was Jalen Mills, the Green Goblin, who helped Julio Jones in 2017 with that pass interference Philly got away with at the end of the ball game. That was his teammate. So, again, when you get a guy like that could have been that, and people always say, "Oh, you hard on Trufant." Trufant was awful. He was overpaid, and I don't give a damn what you say. We got a soft spot in our hearts for everything that come out of the University of Washington. We might have lucked up with Penix. Now, I had my guy Lincoln Kennedy on here a couple of weeks ago. I mean, about a month and a half ago or whatnot. You know, he won a championship in Washington. But as he said when he came on the show, some people just don't fit schemes. And he didn't fit the scheme that they were running with the run and shoot. So now I look at what we have now. We got a quarterback that, and I know I'm going out on a limb and I'm saying this, but I compare Michael Penix Jr. to Warren Moon. If I want to compare him to a quarterback, I compare him to Warren Moon. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who he is, go Google him.
He's good.
You know, he was one of the best that ever do it. Yep. Outside of Houston Oilers, he won 5 Grey Cups in Canada before he came to it. Before he came to the NFL, and the NFL didn't want to give him a shot. And the man was a Rose Bowl MVP.
Yep,
knocked out Michigan, a prime Michigan at that. So when you look at a Michael Penix Jr., he didn't have the hard road that Warren had to get to the league. He didn't have that. Warren had a lot going against him because he was a black quarterback coming into the league. Now, I'm speaking freely on this as a fan. If it offends you, I don't give a damn this morning. This is the fan side of me coming out. When you look at the stigma of black quarterbacks, it's come a long way. You know, you go back from Marlon Briscoe being the first to start for the Denver Broncos and literally helping them have a great season, and they only gave him 1 year. And he had to convert to be a receiver, but he went to the Miami Dolphins and helped them go undefeated and win another Super Bowl. So, and you look at Jefferson Street, Joe Gilliam out of Pittsburgh, and you look at coming after him was Doug Williams. Then you had Warren Moon. Because think about it, Doug Williams and Warren Moon were pretty much in the same class in 78. They were supposed to come out together. Warren had to go to Canada to go win. And when you look at Penix was in a bad situation in Indiana with injuries and everything else that came. All I can say is Penix has that drive that Warren Moon had, because Warren had so much going against him when they talked about, oh, we don't know if he can do this and do that. And here's the thing, people don't know Warren Moon could actually scramble. He was a runner. Warren could actually run, but he chose to beat people with his arm because he had that talent. Penix is letting people know, like, we all know he can run. We watched him running at Washington. That's not a problem. And he's got good footwork. Penix wants to be a quarterback. He doesn't want to be an athlete, an athletic quarterback. He doesn't want to be a dual threat quarterback. The man wants to be a quarterback. That's what we have. The man can run, but we have a quarterback. Period. So I feel like this. We're going to get the best out of Kirk Cousins this year and next year because Penix is on his behind right now. I sit back to say this. Penix is going to be that leader that we need once he's groomed, because you see the confidence, you see that he's not afraid to take risk, and that's something that you can't teach a quarterback. Period. You can't teach him. Ritter didn't have it. Hopefully out there in Arizona, somebody touches him because he's got material to be a good quarterback. But you know, but a lot of people wrote him off, and I get it. I was one that said he had to go after I stood up and supported him. But it doesn't mean the kid can't play because he's in the NFL for a reason.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith has just been one of the worst developers of players.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh fans are ready to get rid of him right now.
They are.
Yep.
They are.
After one game, they're already ready to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back to it, I'm not going to keep y'all on here too long because we got game time coming up in about 15 minutes. And I know I'm going to do the halftime report. And then I expect us to have the party line today. I don't feel like having a benediction today. I mean, the introduction was cool and all that. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's a dope introduction and all this." I'm like, man, I'm not trying to see. I don't want to see a priest holding communion and Freddie Falcon leaning on the priest with his hands up. Some artwork that I created. I ain't trying to have that today. I want to at least have some wings and some adult beverages going on. For the after party, just to celebrate these backups fighting and giving us a win. Because I want to win every game. Preseason don't matter. I hate losing. And I'm not that good of a loser. I'm going to tell you that now. I can shake your hand, but I'm going to want to knock your ass out afterwards. Still. That's just me. I'm just sorry. That's that competitive nature. But what do you guys expect to see from this team today? And what are you going to be your score predictions? And then we're going to wrap this thing up.
I'd rather not do no scoring position, but what I expect to see a lot of Casey Washington in the game. I expect to see pretty much Michael Penix. I was at the Miami preseason game last week, and I'm gonna encourage everybody, if you hadn't seen him in action, y'all, I really encourage y'all to go to the next preseason game if they actually gonna have him to play. But it was a sight because I wasn't so on him at first, but then after I saw him perform at the Miami game, I was really impressed with him. And also I was impressed with Washington and King, the guy that's in the cornerback that took a year off. I was really impressed with him at the last game. So I'm expecting a lot of people to pretty much compete to battle to be on that 53 team. So just move themselves in a good position. That's what I'm expecting the list to see who gonna improve from from first preseason on.
King is, and a lot of people don't know this, but Jerry Gray was his coach in Green Bay. Yep. If you don't know, that's one of his. That's one of Jerry Gray's products. So as you can see. You see what the Jerry Gray product looks like when he has his hands on it. I mean, you're looking at that. You look at Darrelle Revis. You look at Pac-Man Jones. I'm always gonna throw the names of the guys that he coached before out of there because sound like somebody got some dogs in the back barking.
Yeah. That's my little bud over here, my little Frenchie over here.
Yeah, mine's not barking, but probably around the 12 noon. That's when she started barking.
But you know what? You say you got a French bulldog in the house. You got something. Look, you got something bulldog up in that house. So you somewhat. You just got you're a Roll Tide guy. So we gotta pray for you.
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. It really like I watch both though. You know what I'm saying? So. I kind of look at both, for being a collegiate football fan.
Yes, sir. Man,
but
what you got?
I would say, like you finna say, but for the preseason, man, I really look at body language. The body language of the team is totally different than what it was the past 3 seasons under Mr. Toxic Smith. It was a toxic body language to me. So. That's why I say I'm hollering 12-5. We're going to Super Bowl. We're going to win it in that toilet bowl in New Orleans. Get your tickets ready.
That's the goal. That's the team goal to make it to that, make it to New Orleans in 2025. That's the goal. But also another goal is to win your division, win all your home games, win all the NFC game that counts, get the home field advantage, and host the playoff in the Benz. And once you host the playoff in the Benz, anything happens.
I don't see nobody in the division a problem, Ryan, Miss Pam. Nobody. I see we sweeping the division.
I'm gonna go a step further. See, y'all minute what y'all thinking. I'm sorry, y'all minute what y'all damn thinking. I'm getting ready to say this. Maybe I might be a lunatic as a fan, and I'm okay with that. I'm getting ready to say this. I want us to go undefeated. I want us to break.
I would love that.
I want us to break the 1972. I want us to be the team that's been the laughing stock of the NFL, whether it's this season or anytime under Raheem Morris. This is my goal for the Atlanta Falcons as a fan. See, all y'all talk about the Super Bowl. Damn that. Damn just the Super Bowl. This is what I'm saying. Ryan, you know what? I ain't gonna throw my whole government out there, but I go ahead and say it. My nickname is Rashay. Everybody knows me as Ryan, but my nickname is Rashay if you close to me. But Rashay thinks we go undefeated, break the Miami Dolphins record of 1972, and be the second undefeated team in NFL history, capped off with the Super Bowl, and also doing what they did the next season and winning a back-to-back championship to make it elite. The 72 Dolphins said it like this here. When Larry Little came, the Hall of Famer Larry Little came on our show for On the Perch, and we did an interview with him. You know, HBCU legend as well, Bethune-Cookman. Shout out to the Wildcats down there in Daytona. Larry Little said, hands down, we thought Don Shula was crazy as hell after we lost that Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys beating them in 1971 when they got there. He said, we were happy to get there, but he said we didn't know what it took to win because Shula was pissed that they were embarrassed the way that they were and ironically, they lost their Super Bowl in New Orleans. Ironic to the Cowboys. The next year they go 17-0, beat the Redskins. Then they only lose one game the next year to the Oakland Raiders, who ended that, they had an 18-game win streak after that.
Yeah.
They lost to the Raiders in 74. And then, 73. And then they go ahead and just literally hit the Minnesota Vikings with a bag of chisels and walk over their dead bodies and claim a second straight Super Bowl. Would have had three in a row, but everybody remembers the See Your Hands game where the Raiders ended that in that playoff, in that playoff run. But I know it sounds crazy, but my quiet goal for my Falcons, I need y'all to go undefeated and then win another Super Bowl right behind it. That's my goal for the Falcons. That's not up just Raheem Morris. That's my lifelong goal I want to see. Now, I might be dead and gone by the time that happens. But that is the expectations I have for my Falcons, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So y'all can have just 1 year and one Super Bowl. No, I want football. I want football immortality for one of the greatest franchises that was laughed at. And I'm gonna say this reason I say one of the greatest franchises that was laughed at because we've been the laughing stock since 1966, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
The NFL world would have to sit back, take notes, and just say, damn, we can't laugh at them no more. They went undefeated. They did what everybody else couldn't do. They broke the Dolphins record. They ended up going back to back. And no one can say nothing about us like that ever again. Yeah. And that's the fan in me talking. Now, as the professional, I'm gonna get back to the historian now. Now, as a professional, I'll just say this. I expect the Falcons to go 11-5 this year and get deep in the playoffs. Whatever happens. I let Nando speak on the other part. I spoke on my delusion as a fan. I let Nando speak that into existence. Nando, I'm like this. I'm speaking them into the playoffs and having a deep run. You speaking them to the Super Bowl. So guess what? As long as this positive energy coming around, I feel like this is a holy trinity of positive energy right now. My boy K-Dub ain't up in here right now, but that's another one who brings that energy just like we do. So
yeah.
Hey Ryan, what's the schedule rank? What do we rank with this whole total schedule? It's a weak schedule, isn't it?
No, we got.
No, it's a strong. That's a strong schedule.
Strong schedule. We got one of the strongest.
Last year we got a weak schedule. This is a strong schedule. So
It's weak, in my opinion, to according to how the team is, though. We weren't ready for that schedule with the team we had last year.
And that was a weak schedule. What you
it was
mean?
rescheduled. That's what I'm
You
saying.
see the record? I mean, it all boiled down to the coaching and the quarterback.
There
You don't
you
fix
go.
no problem, so the schedule looks weaker to me because you got a stronger team, is what I'm saying.
Nando,
Mhm.
that schedule last year was as weak as red Kool-Aid and red
And we
Kool-Aid.
could have
Wait a
won
minute,
I
them
know.
last four,
minute.
them last four games.
Let me
That's
tell-
all he had
let
to
me-
win to
let
save his job, and he
let me
couldn't
tell
even
you.
do that.
Hold up, let me say this. That schedule last year was as weak as red Kool-Aid in the Connecticut area.
Mm.
We had the wrong folk coaching it, and I mean, we didn't have the
And
right
I ain't hold
quarterback.
up.
And you
And
didn't have
wait
the
a minute.
right
And I
coaches
ain't
in
wait
the
a
right
minute.
position either.
And wait a minute. And I ain't talking about Bridgeport, Connecticut either. I'm talking about the ritzy areas like Groton, Connecticut, and those areas where the money is. That's what I'm talking about. That's how weak that red Kool-Aid was of the schedule.
Yeah,
But no,
that's
I
why.
agree with y'all on that.
That's why I said. That's why I'm saying 12 wins. I was saying 12 wins, Ryan, before the injuries, before the acquisition. So this ain't nothing but that extra mustard on my hot dog.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have to conclude with the pregame meal. I appreciate Auntie Pam and Nando for sliding through.
you.
No problem. I'll say this. I'm gonna go ahead and have the halftime report. Y'all check it out or whatnot. At halftime, you know how I get down. I'm gonna have stats, adjustments, and everything else. So y'all come back into the cage with me, and I'll have that situated. And then, like I said, we're gonna have a party line. I'm speaking that into existence today. So thank y'all for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yep. Y'all be.
Hey, so now we'll see y'all at halftime. Thank y'all for coming to the pregame meal. I'm the historian. We out.